Once upon a time, there was a gazelle that a hunter had caught in the forest. When he returned home at night, he realized there was no food available. Although he considered killing and roasting the gazelle, his heart couldn't bear such a cruel act. The gazelle was brought to a street where people gathered. The hunter announced, "I am selling the gazelle." People on the street inquired, "How much do you sell it for?" The hunter replied,
"It's worth 50 coins, but because of my need, I'll sell it for 10 coins.
Upon seeing the hunter's desperation, someone said, "I'll buy it for 2 coins. Another offered, 3 coins. Yet another chimed in, 4 coins. A wealthy herdsman, with plenty of money, confidently stated,
"I'll buy it for 5 coins. No one will pay more than this for a skinny gazelle at midnight. How much meat can such a thin gazelle have?"
The hunter clarified,
People don't buy the gazelle for its meat. It is valuable, it is not just a sheep.
The herdsman decided.
"In any case, I will buy it for 5 coins.
The herdsman brought the gazelle to his house and placed it in the donkey barn. As the gazelle entered, it was taken aback by the terrible conditions: a few donkeys, some mangers filled with straw, a pool of water full of garbage, and the unpleasant smell of the closed barn. Bewildered, the gazelle wondered what to do until the donkeys noticed its presence. One donkey asked,
"Who are you?"
"I am a gazelle,"
replied the newcomer.
"I used to live in the forest. Someone caught me and sold me to your master, who brought me here."
The donkeys nonchalantly responded,
"Well, whatever you are, you're on your own. This place isn't too bad. The pond is water, the mangers have straw, and no one bothers you. You are our guest. Eat whatever you want and rest wherever you please. Just be cautious not to get trampled by our hooves."
Grateful, the gazelle responded,
"Thank you for your hospitality, but I can't eat this dirty water and the dry, yellow straw. I'll stay in a corner and not disturb you while you do your work."
As the donkeys fed and moved around, they created a dusty environment, which frightened the gazelle. It ran from one corner to another, trying to avoid being under their feet, feeling suffocated and uncomfortable due to the smell and the stale air of the barn. The donkeys observed the gazelle's behavior and laughed at its appearance, commenting on its thin legs, horns, and eyes, finding everything about it strange. They found amusement in its fear and assumed it saw them as monsters and demons. One considerate donkey intervened.
"Folks, this gazelle is not from our species, and it's probably scared because it's young and small. We shouldn't upset it. Despite being different, it's our guest. Let's remain calm and not scare it further."
The other donkeys agreed, and they all settled down. The polite donkey then suggested,
"Come on, little one. Have dinner with me in my manger. Look how good the straw is. It's yellow like saffron, thick like tree leaves, soft like fresh hay, and sweet like melon skin. Don't be afraid, no one will harm you. Come and eat."
Grateful for the offer, the gazelle declined politely.
"Thank you for your kindness, but I don't eat straw. I'm not a child, I am sensitive and have a quick temper by nature. My body may be small, but I am an adult in my own way. If I weren't a gazelle, you'd consider me an adult."
The donkeys laughed at the gazelle's response, one jokingly suggesting that it must be old and toothless. They made fun of the gazelle for not eating straw and barley, assuming it wanted someone to cook it warm and soft soup. The gazelle requested not to be touched and expressed its discomfort in the donkey barn.
"Please don't play with my emotions,"
said the gazelle.
"You don't understand, I feel suffocated in this stable with the donkeys. I don't mean to offend you, but a donkey is a donkey, and a gazelle is a gazelle. We are different creatures. Each one of us is made in a unique way. I have always roamed in lush green forests and feasted on green grass. I am no longer accustomed to straw. So, it's not my fault that I don't enjoy your food.
One of the donkeys retorted.
Oh, look at the grand words it uses. It feels suffocated here. What does it know about green forests and grass? This gazelle is ungrateful, rejecting our straw and barley while craving green grass. Let it not die of hunger.
The gazelle firmly stated.
I still desire the same thing. Leave me be and don't torment me.
The gazelle felt incredibly sad and didn't know what to do. Tears welled up in its eyes, and it wished the hunter had thrown it into a well rather than sending it to this situation. It believed anything would be better than living with these foolish donkeys. The most compassionate donkey, upon witnessing the gazelle's tears, felt sympathy and approached it, saying,
Listen, my dear, crying won't heal your pain. There's no use in being sad. It's been said since ancient times that if you smile at the world, it will smile back at you. Like you, we suffer from being captive to humans, but what can we do to change it? Now that you find yourself here with us, try to adapt. Engage in conversation, laugh, and don't dwell on sadness. It's true that this barn isn't ideal, but just like we bear it, you must also adjust to these conditions. We all yearn to live in gardens, feasting on green grass and breathing fresh air, but sometimes that's not possible. Nothing can be done about it, so don't burden yourself with sorrow. Trust me, straw notes are also delicious. If you give them a try, you'll grow big and strong, becoming a proper animal, just like us. However, if you still crave green grass, I'll separate some for you from the straw and give it to you.
The donkeys continued teasing the gazelle, mocking its desire for green grass instead of their food. They concluded that the gazelle had become ungrateful for their efforts to feed it. Annoyed and frustrated, the gazelle couldn't believe they didn't understand its words and couldn't defend itself from their insults. From the corner of the stable, another donkey shouted,
I have found a seed of green grass. I am suggesting that anyone who found green grass should give it to the gazelle, considering its distress.
The gazelle, however, declined their offer and asserted,
I do not need their pity, as I am a precious gazelle, not a beggar deserving of charity.
The donkeys, offended by the gazelle's response, insulted and attacked it physically. The donkeys exclaimed,
Seriously? You're such a stupid creature, gazelle. We're trying to help you, and you dare insult us like this?
One of the donkeys added,
I feel like kicking this ungrateful gazelle in the head.
Another donkey chimed in,
This pampered gazelle just wants green grass and rejects any kindness offered.
Yet another donkey declared.
Now I'll come and take care of the gazelle.
Then, without hesitation, he delivered a strong kick to the gazelle's leg. Following suit, another donkey bit the gazelle's arm, causing it to faint from fear and pain, and the poor gazelle fell to the ground. The polite donkey intervened again, stating that
the gazelle wasn't at fault. It reminded the others that there were various creatures in the world with different lives and perspectives, and there was no need for everyone to be the same. Your behavior toward the gazelle was unjust, and it shouldn't be punished for its preferences in food.
Morning arrived, and the herdsman came to take the donkeys to work. Upon seeing the injured gazelle, he took it on his shoulders and returned it to the hunter's house. He explained to the hunter,
This unfortunate incident in the donkey barn, and please return my 5 coins whenever you could manage it. It seems donkeys do not like this poor gazelle.
The hunter took the gazelle back and nursed it until it recovered. Eventually, he sold the gazelle to the zoo for 50 coins and returned the money to the herdsman. The gazelle found itself in the company of other gazelles at the zoo, but they criticized its happiness in captivity. The gazelle replied,
I came from a donkey's hell. I'm happy here because we are all gazelles who understand each other's language. I've experienced worse, and compared to the donkeys, this place is like heaven. Being in the company of creatures who can't comprehend you is even worse than hell.
In conclusion, the gazelle learned that being surrounded by like-minded individuals was far better than being misunderstood and mistreated by those who couldn't comprehend its true nature. The proverb "birds of a feather flock together" means that people with similar interests, characteristics, or backgrounds tend to group together or associate with one another. It implies that individuals who share commonalities are naturally drawn to each other and form social bonds based on their similarities. This proverb can be applied to various aspects of life, such as friendships, communities, or even professional environments. It suggests that individuals with similar beliefs, values, or hobbies are more likely to find comfort, understanding, and companionship in each other's company.